are the key driving factors for this, personal hygiene and wellness industry in India?
I would say that, there's a change of lifestyle, then there's increased awareness. So, and with more and more penetration of internet, the awareness is not only in the, cities and metro cities. Even if you talk to somebody from a tier 2 or a tier 3 city, you will find them that, even they are as well informed as you.
Yeah, hi Vinita, how are you doing today?
Yeah, hi, Mohit. Very good afternoon.
Good afternoon, right? Before we start the discussion, let me set the context and base of the session today, right? So today we'll be talking about the trends in beauty and wellness industry primarily, and today we have Ms. Vineeta, who is founder and CEO at Inara Wellness, right? Before we get into the set of questions that we have, I'm curious to know more about your journey. So, how is it has been so far? If you can shed some light over that, it'll be great.
Yeah, hi Mohit. Happy to share my journey with you. So, I'm a chartered accountant and I had a consulting firm based out of Kolkata and Bombay. I'm a 2004 November batch CA with a All India rank and Eastern India topper. So it sounds picture perfect to you, but I did this post my marriage. So I got married at a very, very early age. I come from a very traditional Marwadi family wherein nobody before me, like no female before me had been to college also, forget about a professional degree. So I just happened to join CA with no hopes of, ever completing it, given my family background. But yes, वो कहते हैं ना जब you want something वो शिद्दत से कुछ चाहो तो सारी कायनात आप जुट जाती है आपके सपने को पूरा करने के लिए. So even though I got married at a very early age, I was in college second year, so I've completed my graduation, I've done my CA inter and finals also post marriage, and getting a rank in CA finals is very, very tough. I mean, people say it's very tough. It is actually very tough. But yes, if you're determined and if you put in the right efforts in the right direction and be focused, you can do it and you can easily do it in one go. And I was lucky enough to do that. So since I was married very early and I was still pursuing my studies, I did not start working immediately after qualifying my CA, because by the time my results came out, I was already pregnant with my child, so I couldn't pursue, taking up a career back then. But then I started working with IT companies in 2004. Way back, we used to live in Bangalore. My husband is a banker and he used to work with a leading MNC bank in Bangalore that time. So I worked with a couple of IT companies while we were in Bangalore. Then we moved back to Kolkata, and that's when I started my own consulting firm, wherein I have a partner, and we've been, for a mid-sized firm based out of East, we can boast of marquee names like, Tatas and Birlas and Jindals, to name a few amongst our clients. Even though, I've been doing this for last decade, I have been, running my own practice, but I always wanted to build something, very purposive, meaningful, and something which is an identity. And also as a working woman, and, coming from a family which was very, very traditional in their thought process, I have faced a lot of challenges, both on the personal front as well as in the work, in the career that I was trying to pursue. So now that, I'm at a stage in my life wherein, I've crossed most of the hurdles. I mean, the day-to-day work challenges, they continue to remain. But yes, I have dealt with quite a few, issues and challenges which came on the way. So which I feel that, I'm at a stage in my life that I would like to, give back to the ecosystem that helped me, and also be an enabler for the women who are trying to pursue a career. So that's why, when COVID struck, and I had that time and bandwidth to pursue my long dream, my lifelong dream. I started working on VinzBerry, and that's how I launched VinzBerry, which is a brand of personal care and hygiene. Even though it sounds like a brand for which is offering products right now, which are again very solution oriented. All the products that we have in our portfolio right now, they solve some or the other problem. They are a solution to a particular problem, but the objective is to build Vinsberry as a platform, as a community, of community wherein, I mean, even though primarily it's targeted for women, but everybody's welcome to come and share their thoughts, their issues, problems they face, be it financial, be it mental, be it, career wise, in whatever way that, we can help them. So the objective is to build a community, a safe community wherein, one would feel free discussing whether it's your sexual problems, mental problems, relationships, work life balance. So that's the objective behind building Winsberry. So I continue to pursue my consulting career as well, but now that I don't get much time and I devote most of my bandwidth to Winsberry, my consulting firm is successfully run by my partner. Yeah.
Interesting story, Vinita. So how you started off, how you transitioned from CA to consulting, and then to an entrepreneur, right? So quite
Yeah.
interesting right there. So now, can you give me an overview of the industry size and what are the key market dynamics that come into play when we talk about beauty and wellness industry primarily?
See, being a professional, I've had the privilege of working with clients in various segments. So we work with clients in manufacturing and real estate, hospitality, consumers, heavy industries, again service industry also. So that's where I realized that my interest primarily, even though consumers is a very big uh, sector, it's a very challenging sector also. But given the fact that we live in a country wherein our population is the biggest strength for any consumer brand, you have as many consumers for whatever you have to offer. And if you are offering quality product and services, definitely there's scope for everyone to fit in and cater. I mean, we're a huge country with a large population, and the most growing economy across the world, and the next decade belongs to the country. Our honorable prime minister is doing a lot, and we all know, the whole world is praising what we are doing. I mean, we can see how resilient our country is, even with all the political and economic turmoil across the globe. We are very strong, I mean, our ratings are very strong and everything is very strong. So, studying all the sectors, I did realize that, this is where I want to be in. And consumer, particular, hygiene and wellness as a category is growing, and the need for it and awareness for it has grown manyfold post COVID. Now we all realize that how important it is to take care of our health, of our wellness, of our hygiene and everything. It's become a way of life for all of us. So if I have to give you a number about the industry size and market, so feminine hygiene market was valued at 39 billion in 2020, and it's projected to reach 69 billion by 2030. Personal care market is currently valued at 27 billion and is projected to reach 37 billion by 2025. So, even the number speaks for itself, and there's a huge opportunity. There's a huge growth opportunity. So that's why, after studying the market and studying all the brands which are available in the market, whether it's in the D2C space or in the offline space or the traditional businesses, the brands which have been there for decades, we identified our present set of portfolio, and we didn't get into beauty and hair or any sort of glamour business to begin with. So we wanted to be in a very niche range, and the need for it is growing day by day. I just shared the numbers with you, so that's why we opted to be in this category. But again, as I said, this is how we've just started, but the intent is definitely to build it more as a platform and as a problem solving community rather than just a commodity brand.
Quite interesting, Vanita, right there. So you spoke about how you started off with your journey. Now I wanna hear more about how you transition, or what was the trigger point that you felt, okay, now I don't want to do consulting, or probably I want to switch into my own firm and pursue entrepreneurship. So if you can shed some light over there, it'll be great.
Yeah, so as I just mentioned, just before the numbers that we shared, I mentioned, so this was my, lifelong dream of building something which is meaningful, purposive, and, something which is an identity, something with which you can solve problems for people across the country, across the globe. So that was the intent. And even though, I am running my own consulting firm wherein, I am the business owner. So I had all the, you know, I mean, I had all the privileges of owning a business. I've been a, very ambitious person always, and I really wanted to do things. But somewhere or the other, I always felt that, I need to channelize my passion, my energy into something else, so that was like my inner calling. And when we got the break, the lockdowns during COVID is when I started, working on it. And it took me almost 18-24 months, so a lot of study. I spoke to a lot of my friends and family and peers and colleagues, spoke to people across the country, researched the entire category, other brands, their offerings, convenience to use, pricing, packaging. I visited all the units possible, in North, in Baddi, in Solan, Himachal, Uttarakhand, Gorakhpur, Ghaziabad, Delhi, NCR, Gurgaon, Noida. Whenever the lockdown was lifted and I could travel, I would, fly to all these places, because obviously, no holidays or anything were happening. So the moment travel was allowed, I would, go to these places and study and learn about it. So yeah, then I got in touch with the professionals who are working in the industry for long. And then I knew that, okay, now I can do this, because being a professional myself, I've always firmly believed that one must go for professional advice for things that you have not dealt with yourself, none earlier. So I took help from somebody who was a project consultant and who has 30 years of experience in the consumer industry. Then our formulations again are not OTC formulations. We are not just a brand owner. We got the formulations done. We did the testing, we did the efficacy testing, stability testing, the QC controls and licenses and approvals and everything. And only when I was very confident about what I'm going to offer to people did I launch VinzBerry this March. Yeah. So almost 20-22 months. Yeah.
Correct, correct. Interesting bit, right? So now, what are the key driving factors for this, personal hygiene and wellness industry in India?
Yeah. So again, Mohit, as I said that, there's a lot of awareness in consumers now. All of us, I mean, we experience it ourselves. Even though we are educated, but we never used to bother so much earlier, as much as we, put in efforts right now, and we check everything, whether it's the ingredients, the formulations, or the dates, or the sourcing of raw materials and everything. So primarily, I would say that, there's a change of lifestyle. Then there's increased awareness. So, and with more and more penetration of internet, the awareness is not only in the cities and metro cities. Even if you talk to somebody from a tier 2 or a tier 3 city, you will find them that even they are as well informed as you. So change in, so if I have to list down three driving factors, I would say changing lifestyle of Indian consumers, increased awareness, and rising consumerism because of the population. So these are the three main factors which I would summarize as the main driving factors.
Correct, correct. So you previously mentioned that you travel to different places to, study and understand what are the needs of people and, formulate your product accordingly, right? So in your opinion, what are the key challenges that the consumer is facing in today's day and age?
Again, Mohit, a lot has happened, in my own lifestyle, in my own lifetime. I'm seeing there's a huge change which has happened, but still a lot needs to be done. I mean, there used to be a lot of taboos around discussing about, female issues and female hygiene issues. We all know how, buying a sanitary was a big challenge. I mean, you had to hide, you would try and go to a store when all the e-commerce platforms were not there, so one would try and visit a store when there is I mean, there's no other consumer in the store, and जाके आप धीरे से बोलते थे कि भैया मुझे वो whisper दे दो, and they would wrap it in the newspaper and give it to you. So I mean, unfortunately, there were too many taboos, and still now we do see. So a lot needs to be done, but I'm very, very, very happy to see that a lot of change is already happening. People are so vocal about things. Social media has contributed a lot to the cause. People talk happily, openly about issues. I mean, I'll just give you a very personal example. So just last evening I had to take out my son for dinner, and I had thought that I would come back home and probably change and then leave with him for dinner. But I got stuck, and I had to then call up my son and tell him that beta, can you get me a sanitary, because I'm unable to come home to change. And I could do that, but then I mean, I was just thinking that when I was a child, did my mom ever ask me, even though I was a girl child, forget about having this discussion with my brother. I mean, that is ruled out. So I was just trying to recall that whether my mother ever asked me also that I could feel so comfortable asking my son that you get it for me, because I'm unable to come home and I need it. So a lot of changes come, but yes, still a lot needs to be done at ground level, more in tier 2, tier 3 cities and towns and villages. Definitely, we see a major change in metro cities, in corporates, everywhere. But we need to open up about having more frank conversations so that people feel free. And this is true not only for female hygiene, it's true for male also, so everybody should feel very, very, very comfortable. So it's not like that only women face this issue. I mean, women face it more, but yes, it's true to a great extent for men also. I mean, I have a lot of friends in my line, so I do see that I mean, they will discuss it amongst boys, but not very comfortable discussing with women around. So these are normal issues. We are humans, we are born with it, so the conversation around it should be as organic, as natural, as comfortable as discussing ki, what did you eat for breakfast, and what do you feel like eating for dinner, aapko ye pasand hai, aapko ye pasand nahi hai. So yeah.
Correct, correct. Agree with you on that point, Vineeta, completely. Right. So the society, although is evolving, but will take some more time in order to, bring it to that level that we're expecting, right? So primarily, Yeah, you rightly mentioned that social media has played a pivotal role in, shaping the industry what it is today, right? Now, that brings me to our next question, which is an interesting one, right? So there are probably a lot of companies who are offering similar solutions in health and hygiene industry, right? So what is the solution that you are offering, and how is it different from probably other players who are out there in the market?
So what we've tried to do, Mohit, is that we've tried to bring in convenience of usage to the products and solutions we've come up with. Because if I see myself as a consumer, when I started this, and when we were designing the packaging and containers and everything around it, so I am like probably the laziest consumer on planet Earth. So I would think कि मैं खुद इसको use करूंगी क्या नहीं करूंगी. What is the convenience that I have to add to the usage of the product? If I just give you an example, like our underarm serum is in a mist form, so that one can just spray and move. You don't have to mess up your hands and apply and wait for it to dry and things like that. So this is one example. So we definitely wanted to add more and more to the convenience of usage. Obviously, quality, efficacy is given. I mean, that is something which is where I could not think of compromising. Obviously, my formulator and my manufacturer, they were like that. We are going very high on the cost of production, and this is not going to make your business product your numbers viable. Then, but I was like, I've been a professional myself. I cannot compromise on it. Okay, maybe I'll not make money out of what I'm doing, but yes, if I'm going to the market with quality product, I'm sure with time I'll get the due rewards which I deserve. So yes, we have worked with the best of consultants, the best of formulators, the best of ingredients, and we've tried to package it nicely so that because that's what the consumers look at. Uh, so yeah, we've tried to be very professional, very transparent, and fingers crossed.
Yeah, right. Correct. You rightly mentioned that, compromising quality bit would not sustain in the longer run, right? Primarily.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Correct. Correct.
We,
So,
we I see that happening with so many other brands that, just beautiful packaging without the product being quality, you'll not survive long.
correct, correct, correct. So now, what was the impact of COVID on your firm? So primarily, you launched during that phase. So you were probably researching and tying up all the or stitching the pieces together, right? So can you shed some light over there? How was that for you?
Yeah, so COVID impacted most of the businesses, whether it's manufacturing, whether it's service, whatever. So yeah, even we were not spared. So because when you're a service provider, if your client is not functional, you are, even though as a consultant, as a service provider, you need to deliver all the services on time. You have to do all the return filings, you have to deal with all the issues. But yes, we had to give waivers to our clients. We had to support them during that time, even though we ourselves felt that pinch, because obviously our rentals, our manpower cost, and everything remained same. Because in consulting, you can't let go of manpower, because they are skilled people, and you can't get people just like that in a service industry. So yes, we did feel a lot of pinch, but after things started improving, our clients, they paid us back for the work that we did during that period, without getting paid for it. But yes, we knew that this is when we need to continue to support them, and yeah, things went pretty smooth after lockdown eased, and COVID and vaccination, and things like that started. But yes, it was pretty challenging, and the nature of our work is such that there's a lot of discussion which happens with the team in person. So managing like a 30-35 people team remotely is very difficult, because you're dealing with so many clients, and then there are so many issues. So it's practically not possible to call up each and everyone or explain things to them over meets or zooms. So very, very, very difficult, but yes, the team was supportive, the clients were also supportive. We did feel a big pinch in terms of getting paid, but yeah, things improved after that.
Correct. Interesting. Interesting, Bhumika. So that brings me to my last question for you. So primarily, where do you position yourself or rather your firm in the next 3 years or so, maybe?
So is that a question for my consulting firm or for Winsberry, Mohit?
For VinzBerry.
All right. So, as I said, that we just started as a brand which is offering products and solutions for different problems concerning hygiene and various other issues. So, the plan ahead is to build it as a community, come up with more solutions. It could be products, it could be services, it could be getting professionals on board to address to people's queries, issues, problems. So the plan is to have a pan India presence, both online and offline, and definitely explore export markets going ahead. But yes, before I get to export opportunities, I would like to stabilize our brand more in our country, because I see India as a land of opportunities and the next decade belongs to India. So even though people tell me that, start focusing on exports also, but yes, I love my country, very bullish about the growth of our own country. So going to focus over next 3 years to have our presence, to be, omnipresent. I mean, to try for, all the channels, shop in shop, stores and kiosks, be on all the e-commerce platforms, everything. We also have our own e-com website, but yes, we are present in on quite a few marketplaces also. So I think if we speak 3 years down the line, you'll find Winsberry everywhere.
Correct, correct. Quite interesting and ambitious, Vanita, right? So that's about it from my end for today, Vanita. It was a pleasure having you over with us, and an interesting conversation. I'm sure a lot of people will get some meaningful insights out of this conversation, right? Thanks, thanks.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Mohit.